All right. Thanks a lot, everybody, for joining, and welcome to our product webinar for the month of April. So I'm Roman, I'm the CEO here at Gorgias, and so you might have received an email from me a few days ago with the features that we've released this month in April. And so, yeah, we're really excited to have you here. Thanks, Cody, for saying hi on the chat. We just added a poll as well, so that you can tell us like why you decided to join today. I already see some responses there. So yeah, really excited to have you all. And with me, I see there are people from Decathlon, Dylan, Shinesty, Sphero. That's really cool. Welcome everyone. And so with me today, there is Zach, who's a product manager at Gorgias. So Zach, I'll let you introduce yourself as well.
Yeah, hey everyone, I'm Zach. Like Romain said, I'm a product manager here at Gorgias. I primarily focus on product research and figuring out what you guys want and how do we get that implemented. It's great to meet everyone. I'm really excited to show you the work we've been doing over the last couple months and help outline where we're headed in the future.
Nice, cool. So just before we jump in, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the agenda for today. I see more people joining. That's really cool. So we're going to talk about a couple of things. One is the features that we've released in April. So basically, a lot of you are on Shopify. So we've introduced features that allow you to edit orders, create orders directly from Gorgias without switching tabs. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about intents to automatically classify your tickets. And we're going to talk about social features as well. You can manage your Facebook, Instagram directly. All right, we just had a small glitch, but I think we are back on. So I was saying, yeah, what's happening today is that we're going to talk about new features. Then we'll talk about the roadmap. We basically like use a lot of what you guys tell us on the support tickets and on the product feedback to prioritize the roadmap. So yeah, I'm back. Nice to see the chat, and thanks for being supportive to this glitch. So yeah, and then we'll speak about the roadmap for the rest of the year and what are some of the features we are going to launch. So I just look at the results from the poll. Seems that folks, you guys are here to talk about coming features and Shopify actions plus intents. So let's jump right into it. So I think we have Zach that is going to tell us a little bit about the Shopify features. So let's, Zach, the floor is yours.
Great, thank you. So one of Gorgias's key advantages to other platforms is our integration with Shopify. As you all probably know, you can access Shopify information directly from the customer's ticket and use this data to pre-populate messages and macros or respond to tickets via rules. But over the last few months, we made some improvements to our Shopify store action features. We've expanded the functionality of our duplicate, refund, and cancel order buttons, as well as built a new feature to create orders. So I'm going to give you guys a quick demo of these improvements and show you how using Shopify actions in Gorgias can increase the efficiency of your customer support team. So first, I want to look at the refund order option right here. So in the past, you could only refund full orders, but now you can specify specific items to refund, set shipping amounts, create custom notes for each refund, and basically access all the features that are available in Shopify. So for example, if a customer ordered 2 baskets, but they only want to return 1, we can do that directly from Gorgias by specifying the quantity of the item we want to refund. Canceling orders, we can do the same as with Shopify. So whereas in the past, we would just cancel the entire order, now you can just cancel specific items within an order. But the one we really want to talk about is duplicating orders. And in the past, when you duplicated a full order, it would be the same where it's including all the items. But now what you can do is add new items, add custom items, and remove items from your order. So this feature can be really powerful, especially when you're changing orders. So in this example ticket right here, this customer purchased 2 bicycle baskets, but they meant to get 1 and a fixie bike. So we can change the order without having to jump into Shopify by first canceling the order via this button right here, and then duplicating the order and making the changes that they asked for. So we reduce the quantity of the bicycle basket and add a fixie bike right here. And what you can do now is email an invoice, adding a custom message for the customer, creating the order as pending, which will create a draft order, or creating the order as paid, which will create a full order in Gorgias, or in Shopify rather. So if I click create order as paid right here, then if we go to Gorgias right here, or we go to our Shopify page, let's give it a minute to work. You'll see that order was created right here. The order was canceled and refunded right here. And all those changes show up right in your Shopify store. Another thing we added is the create order feature. So essentially what it is the duplicate order feature, but just for a blank order, where you can just directly create orders from Gorgias. So that will help drive revenue production. If you're a customer support agent, you're talking to a customer and they ask for a specific order and want to move forward. So
we have a bunch of feedback on the chat as well about what you're saying, Zach. So like there is Forrest that's saying that they'd like the checkbox for restock to be unchecked by default. Christine agrees, so that's really good to know.
Yeah, that's great.
Stefan is telling us that I always hesitate before pressing refund, as I am unclear if it will refund automatically. Okay,
yeah, so,
that's
yeah, that's great. So in the cancel order, if we go in and we cancel an order, it will automatically refund the order as long as the discounts are set.
I think what it means is that in the sidebar, like we have a bunch of buttons, and what he's concerned about is like when you click the button, it's going to automatically refund right away. And so something that we could do is have something called initiate refund or something like this. That would be a little less scary to click the first time you try the button. We'd love to have the ability to archive an order from within the tickets after we cancel the order. Will that be a possibility? So yeah, the way we prioritize things is based on how many people ask and how useful is that. So let us, if other folks on the webinar thinks it's a good idea, please +1 it so this way we'll know. But definitely open to a little more functionality there.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And that is something, especially on the refund side of initiating a refund rather than just going through the full process. It's something that Romain and I have been looking into and trying to figure out what integrations do we need to, for example, create return labels and those sort of things. So that's definitely something that's being considered and something we're trying to work towards. Are there any other additional questions, like any specific functionalities? Any way to change the shipping address on a duplicated order before it's completed? I don't. So you can't change the order from the duplicate order button, but you can change the shipping address via the macro. But that is good feedback and something we can look into, changing the order, the shipping address within the duplicated order. That's great feedback. All right. Well, I really appreciate it. If you guys don't have any other questions, I think Romain can talk a little bit more on the new intents and rules.
Yep. All right. So let's jump into this. So I'm going to share my screen. All right. That would be helpful. Yes, because sometimes the customer wants to reship to a new address. That'd be helpful. Okay, good to know. Yeah, basically what we've done with this iteration is that we've basically copied what was in Shopify and brought it inside Gorgias. And so I think like those support use cases are really helpful. So really appreciate all the feedback there. So feature number 2, we added. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with intents. I should have started a poll before talking about this. But basically, intents are a way that we use to automatically classify the messages that we receive. So for example, say there is a ticket that is created. Our system is going to automatically apply an intent to this ticket. And so what's new this month is that it works for any language. So you can see on my screen, this is a Spanish ticket that has been classified with a shipping status intent. And so like we basically made a rule that is going to say when a ticket is created, then you can access the intents through message. Intents contains shipping status, and then you can add a tag. So you would say then action. So I'm going to remove this section here. Boom. So I can say when a ticket is created, if the intent that was detected by Gorgias is shipping status, then we can add a shipping status tag. And so basically what it's going to do is automatically classify your tickets whenever a customer reaches out. So the benefit is the following, is that sometimes you want to know what customers are asking before your agents are manually classifying tickets. And we've seen that a lot of you guys have rules that say if the body contains shipping and if it contains this other term and this other term, then apply the shipping status tag. So this is a way to avoid these keywords and using our machine learning instead to automatically classify the messages. And so what you can do afterwards is that whenever a ticket is created, it would contain the right tag that corresponds to what the ticket is about. And then basically what you can do is also create a bunch of views on the left. So you could do a view that is for, we have tons of views on this account. So you could create a new view that says, let's say we edit this one and we can say tag is shipping status. And so basically you'd have, let's do, and then status is open. And so you'd have shipping status questions that would show up on the left here automatically. So you don't have to do anything, they'll be automatically classified. And so something I want to stress about intents is that so far it's a bit of a complicated process because you need to create the rule and then to the right tag. And so something that we are working on right now is to allow to select the intents directly from the views. So this way you can say, if intent is X, then create this view. So we're going to try to make them easier to use. And if that's of interest to you guys, something we are thinking as well is to have in the statistics a session called intents. So you can have a breakdown of your tickets by all of the intents that we have. And the list is available here. So there are things like changing, getting the status of your order, requesting a return, etc. That's the screen. Are intents on tickets set automatically? Joseph is asking. So yes, they are definitely set automatically. And so every time a ticket is created, the intent is available in the rules. Right now, we don't display it in the ticket. That's something we plan on doing. Yeah, more ways to chop data up is always appreciated. So yeah, that's coming for sure, Matthew as well. So we will add this in the statistics pretty soon. So even if you don't tag tickets, you'll have the breakdown by category. There is a question from Murphy about any plan to disable live chat to specific visitors based on IP address. Yes, so we've been working on a new version of the chat for the last 2 months. And that's going to contain this feature, so you can ban people, you can see what city they are currently chatting from. So yeah, the chat is going to contain more functionalities around that. Oh, new chat. I see Cody's excited. Yeah, it was long overdue, so we've been building a new version of it to make it more reliable. So this new version will allow us to build more features into the chat. That's it for intents. If you have any questions, just jump in the chat about this. But yeah, then Zach wants to tell us about some exciting social stuff. So I'll let you present.
All right. Thanks, Romain. So the last thing we wanted to talk to you about in terms of current features are social comments. Social media is a crucial part of any company's customer support strategy, but it's also the most public-facing medium. So it can play a big role in the public perception of your company. Gorgias offers a bunch of tools to help customer support team manage their social media presence. and navigate the specific challenges of using social media for customer support. One of the most powerful things we offer is the ability to tag and is to detect intents in social media comments. So this is important for social media questions because so many tickets in social media are essentially, people tagging each other, people talking to each other, and things you don't necessarily want to answer. So that's really tricky for a customer support agent because they're essentially forced to go through hundreds and hundreds of tickets that maybe aren't intended for them to respond to and find the ones that they are. So what we do is we allow, we've created a couple intents that we check for, including positive feedback, negative feedback, or it's basically called other, no question. And essentially, let's see, what is this? Is there ability to create my own report?
No, sorry. I'm just responding to questions in the meantime.
Sorry, everyone. But yeah, so essentially what that presents the opportunity is to have our system auto-close the tickets that don't matter and elevate the ones that you need to respond to. That greatly cuts down the time it takes for customer support agents to deal with social media, because that's often one of the slowest responses that customers receive. So the way that we do that is kind of similar to what Romain was doing before, is you would first set your message channel, and that's essentially where your customers reaching you from. So you could set it to Facebook, Instagram comment, Facebook ad comment, or even Instagram ad comments. Then you do the same thing Romain spoke about: message, intents, name, contains, and you can do feedback negative. Do you recommend? Bhavesh asked if we recommend using intents for auto replies. Yeah, we do recommend using intents for auto replies, especially for things like shipping status, exchange requests, return requests. And a big thing that we do while we're sort of implementing intents is we often suggest that people keep an eye on the it's tagging right now, because there are some like edge cases they tag a ticket that maybe it shouldn't have. So keeping an eye on your tickets that when you have intents running, and then adding what I call exception phrases, which would essentially be another clause within any ticket that would say message body does not contain any of, and then you could say any example of a word that you just want to make sure it's not catching. Didn't see the answers to be able to create my report drawing. Let's see. Cody asked if there will be an ability to create your own report drawing tags of tickets. Example, one is the state tickets. Romain, do you have an answer to that?
Sorry, I was responding to all the chat.
No worries.
Didn't see the answer. Will there be an ability to create my own reports drawing from tags of tickets? Yeah, so I responded in the questions, Cody. So what we're gonna have is some statistics around conversion rate. So we launched the first version of the revenue stats a year ago. That was slow and not working super well. So we are about to relaunch it, I think next week. So that's precisely the use case of these revenue statistics. Zach, if you can open that up, just to show where it is. It's to track the conversion of chat conversations. So if that's what you have in mind, please tell me on the chat. Otherwise, happy to respond in more details about custom charts. Second question is, Twitter is definitely important for us. Being able to answer DMs from one place would be super sweet. So to be honest, like we haven't had a ton of requests for Twitter DMs so far. That being said, we are always open to feedback, and if it's important for you guys, like that's something we can also plan on doing. Jason is asking about Instagram DMs. I think we have. Let me show you something. So I'm going to share my screen, and so the way we prioritize feedback is using product board. So every time you guys tell us that either like on this chat, on the NPS service, on when you talk to our sales team, when you talk to our success team, we basically track the feedback. And so we had 511 people asking for Instagram DMs. So we really understand that's something that you guys want and it's needed. So it's at the very top of the list. The only thing we are waiting for here is for Instagram to release an API for us to allow you to respond to Instagram DMs. So they initially said it would be around this time of the year. There was the Facebook conference scheduled at this time. It's been postponed because of the pandemic. But we are expecting the DM API to be released in the coming months. And by coming, I mean by the summer. So if they release it, then that'd be the first thing we build right after that. Cool. All right. So yeah, let's move on to some roadmap. There's been also a ton of questions on the chat and in the question section. So thanks so much. I tried to answer as many as I could. So I'll just take a few. So is there an ETA on SMS Twilio? So yes, there is. So let's talk about the roadmap just now. So I'm going to share what's on my screen. And basically, just want to show you something. So you can access the roadmap from Gorgias, clicking on your profile, and then there is a tab called Roadmap. So if you click on this, it takes you here, which is the public roadmap. And so what we try to keep it up to date as much as possible. So every month we basically like show what we are working on, so you can see what's happening. So I'm going to talk mostly about Q2, which is what you can see on my screen. So the search sucks. We've been making a lot of improvements to performance. It should be up to 5 times faster. We are doing another iteration to make it again 5 times faster, so it should be much better. And we're also adding some additional filters. So that's being worked on right now. Another thing is view sharing. So large teams can create views that are only for certain people. And so basically what we're going to do with this is allow you to share a view with certain people or keep it private to yourself. Yeah, there is a Christine that is asking about the Zapier integration. Zapier integration is planned for the rest of the year. So either Q3 or Q4. We are big users of Zapier ourselves, so yeah, we know it's important. And Cody was saying the goal of having statistics with tags was to compare attempts to save a customer versus closing them. And so that's the purpose of the revenue stats. So I think what we're going to do is to make the revenue stats better. So give it a week, then you can take a look, tell us what you think. If you like them or not, and you can tell us on the chat. You can tell the support team, and then we'll look at all the feedback and see what iteration we need to do here. Yeah, it's hard to keep up with all of these questions. So yeah, so something else that we plan on doing Q2 is undo message sent. I just got somebody on the NPS survey saying that they wanted that this morning. Macro page in settings. I know this has been like a pretty popular feature request as well for the admin to be able to manage all the macros in one place. There is Thomas who says revenue stats are a huge winner. Cool. I'm glad you're excited because typically support is viewed as a cost center, and so we are pushing a lot to empower you guys to sell on the chat and track the revenue that comes from it. So yeah, Matthew is excited, saying it's going to be revenue stats are going to be huge. Thanks for the excitement. We're making some improvements to the mobile app. I remember I spoke with Decathlon a couple of years ago, and they were telling me they wanted to have the salespeople in the stores respond to tickets. So like if you're specialized about kayak, you might have a kayak ticket assigned to you. So that's we are making the mobile app better. API improvements, that's mostly to get more partners to work with us. Tickets created per day. So I actually have a questions on this one. So you can see on the screen what it looks like. It shows you when your tickets are being created during the day, and then there's going to be the business hours as well. So you can see how your business hours match the demand from your customers. And so right now we plan on just showing the tickets created per day, which is what you see on the screen here. That being said, something we have in mind is to show the first response time per hour and per day. So this way you can see what time of the week you're not doing a good job at responding fast to customers. So if that's something that's interesting, yeah, please tell me on the chat. I see Thomas is saying yes. because yeah, well, what we're trying to do at the end of the day with Gorgias is to help you respond faster to customers and provide with better satisfaction. So yeah, 100%. Cool. I see Michelle and Jenna saying that they like it. Awesome. Yeah, Cody is sharing the roadmap. Do we use the median response time instead of the average? So actually, the stats in Gorgias are all medians and not average. So we already use medians everywhere. Nice. Okay, cool. I see that you guys are excited with the first response time by hour and day. So that's really good to know. We'll definitely give this a shot. Cool. Change from Facebook to Messenger. So that's for people who manage social. And I see that 86% of folks on this webinar are using Gorgias to manage social. So there's going to be a lot for you. So switch from comment to Messenger, Facebook reaction, love, all that kind of stuff. There's going to be the ability to auto hide with rules. And you can also combine that with the sentiments in the rules. Actually, let me show you. It's pretty cool. So you can do things like if message to sentiment contains negative, offensive, like the things you want to hide. There's going to be an action that says if a ticket is created, if the sentiment is negative or offensive, and you would do if the channel is Facebook. In that case, there will be an action to hide automatically the comment. When is this launching again? Jason is asking tickets per day stats. It's being worked on right now. So yeah, like, it's hard to give you an exact time frame, but I would say around May for sure. Joseph is saying he likes the fact that we are going to auto hide. Great to hear. Discount code creation, will there be an ability to create custom codes for a macro, meaning each new email gets a new discount code? So I saw this was also in the questions, and that has been voted a few times. Yes, asked by Forrest in the questions. So I'd love to hear what are the use cases, if it's to give a one-off discount to save money, or if it's to do something else. So yeah, if you can chime in on the chat by giving like 3 or 4 use cases, that'd be great. But I think, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. We've seen tons of tickets with discount codes in them. So I assume like you have to go to Shopify every time or to Magento to create them. So yeah, it would make sense to create them from the tickets. And if there is high demand, we can definitely build it. Cool. What else is coming? So Facebook reactions, auto hide. And then we have a couple of things that are a bit different, which is typo correction. That's our machine learning team that's doing that. And then there's going to be our smart replies. Something we're exploring, but it's a bit like in Gmail where you have like a bunch of buttons that you can click on that basically contain pre-populated replies. And maybe it would be interesting for Zach to tell us about like the chatbot that you're building and what you have in mind, and see what's the reaction to this.
Yeah, that would be great. So right now I'm working on a custom chatbot for a couple of our customers that essentially has multi-step quick replies. So what you can do is you get an initial set of quick replies, you click a response, and what'll happen is it'll pull up another set of quick replies. That's really powerful because then you can create what I like to call logic flows. You know, these basically trees of decisions that can lead people down certain paths to answer specific questions. An example being, first you ask for, like the button says returns and exchanges for the first quick reply. When you click that, it can then pull up initiate a return or return status. You can click that. It can give you your first result, and ask you if it's the right, give you your latest order, and ask you if it's the right one. If not, you can click no, pull up another branch of logic. The idea being that we can just build out our automations to be a little smarter and more intuitive. You know, as you guys probably know right now, our quick replies are a step earlier. They're just one step. And you can't really regenerate them or have multiple sets of quick replies. So is that something you guys would be interested in, being able to create new sets of quick replies? A lot of people really seem to, especially if you're trying to build out more automations, that can be great. Oh, that's great to hear. Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, I think it'll help drive up automation and kind of improve our ability to really, make our chatbots work a little smarter.
Nice.
Great to
Cool.
hear.
I'm picking up some responses on the questions. Ah, nice. Whoa. You got lots of dark mode. Sure, why not?
Love dark mode. I think that's a great idea.
Do dark mode. Yes. Cool. Yeah, first time I hear about dark mode for Gorgias, but I'm sure the dev team will love it. Nice. So yes, that's it for the Q2 roadmap. If you have any feedback, give now. For the rest of the year, so that's what you see below. So there's going to be Twilio and SMS support. That's something that we are investigating. Help Center, Knowledgebase. So this one has been also in the top. Yeah, you see, if we look at the internal ranking, that's number 2. So that's something that we are digging into. Like, we want to find the right way to do the knowledge base. Either we do like everybody else, which is hey, like your articles, or we do something a little smarter that has which is dynamic. So if you click on order status, it looks up your order status. If you do request, it redirects you to your return request, redirects you to the return portal. So we'll see. Like, we're investigating if we do something purely static or if we do something a bit smarter that is dynamic. For now, like what Zach was just telling you about, which is yeah, having a chatbot would also like do some of this content from the knowledge base. Segment integration coming up, email forwarding improvements. Yeah, right now it's not so good, so we want to get better. Instagram DMs, we put them in later for now because we don't know when Facebook is going to release it, but that's in the works. Zapier, single sign-on. There's multi-brand. We don't really know how we're going to do it, but there are a few options. Do a bit like Shopify Plus does with different workspaces, or like Slack does, or do something a little different. So we'll see. We're going to do some investigation here and ask you guys what you think. Chatbot ETA, Zach, you have pressure now.
Yeah.
So we're doing the research too, and hoping to release something in Q3. Categories for macros, good to know. Yeah, I think what we're going to do is to take all the feedback from this conversation, from this webinar, and put this in project board afterwards to prioritize. Oh, and something that is not here that could be that is I think interesting here is that we are going to also have categories for views on the left, and so this way you can say, hey, like, this is the fixed views that everybody sees, this is the fixed categories that they see, and so we've been doing some research on that with some of you guys. So thanks for giving us feedback, and it seems that that's something that we're going to release also in the coming months. And then a bunch of integrations, Yotpo, Klaviyo, respond to Facebook reviews. We've had a bunch of requests for that as well. Notification center and improvements of the statistics. Like I forgot who was asking about it, but yes, that's something that we are releasing. Yeah, Forrest is saying categories of macros would be great. Charlie as well. If you can chime in and tell us how you would use them. Something that we've done, and you probably saw it. Let me go to the tickets. Using the GH shortcut. Something we've done is that now the macros are ordered by how relevant they are to the tickets. So we try to reduce the amount of time the agent spends searching for the right macro. So yeah, that's the approach we've had so far. Is like, instead of classifying or doing extra work, we try to be smart and suggest the right macro. That being said, like, I'd love to hear like what you want categories and see how we can do that better. I see there are a few questions in the question tab. Like, if you can give me a hand and take some of these, that'd be helpful. So it's 10:34. We have 5 minutes left. So yeah, happy to take some of these questions live or chat about what's on the chat. We currently have 100 macros. Forrest is saying if we could categorize them, it would cut down search time. It's definitely a preference instead of digging through the pane on the left. So how would you like to click on the category first and then click on the macro? Or because something that we've seen is that what some teams are doing is to say shipping. So there is a prefix, shipping back order, shipping something else, shipping lost item, for example, stuff like that. So that's a workaround. I understand it's not as good as categories. So this way, when you type shipping, you find those two. Yeah, shipping delay related to macro ERP or something like that. Cool. Okay, that's good feedback. So we have Naya Brown asking customers information is not always pulled in Gorgias. I have to research Shopify to locate the orders. So I don't know if you know about that, but you can search by order number on the sidebar of Gorgias right here. So that can save you some time. Though that being said, like we try to match the users as much as possible. So I'd love to hear like what are some of the channels where you have issues matching the users. So yeah, that's this one. Let's take another one. What is being upvoted? This one. Is there a way we can filter tickets by customer name so we can easily view duplicate tickets? So the way you can view duplicate tickets is clicking on the timeline here. So I'm guessing that helps you in some cases. Sometimes the customer might reach out with a different email address, or they may reach out through another channel. And so the way you would do that is by searching by name, and the search is going to be improved as well. So that should help you identify all the tickets that are about the same customer. That being said, a suggestion is something we could do is automatically flag the tickets that might come from the same customer and show them in a smart way. So it could be something that says on the screen. Oh, something that says on the screen. Where was I? Is that the same customer? So we could have a section when we say, hey, like we're finding this person. Is that the one that we find another ticket by this person? Are they the same? And so maybe that can help you also identify duplicate tickets. So something we've tested as well was a way to automatically merge tickets if they come from the same customer in the same time frame. All right, let's take a couple more questions with bots. I think we're doing pretty well at answering all the questions. That's cool. Thanks everybody for being for having so many interactions on this webinar. Cool. So I think we are getting towards the end. So yeah, thank you so much for participating. That was super helpful. Also, it's awesome to hear directly what you guys think, because we're working from home in front of our computers, and it's hard to understand and to like see like what's happening on your side. So definitely awesome to hear your voice and see what you guys have to say. I'll just finish with one thing. I'm going to pull up this dashboard. Are these going to be monthly? If you want, like it's more like a test. Like so far, I've been sending a newsletter every month. This was helpful. Okay, great to hear. Yeah, like there are 42 people who attended. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. 43. That being said, like we have like 10,000 users, so let's see if we can do a good job at like pushing it to everyone, so there is more visibility. But at the same time, like it seems like it was the right format to manage with the number of questions that you guys asked. Plan to log ticket replies so only specific admins can answer them. Could you share a little bit more context on why you want that? That'd be helpful. Thanks, I see you're typing. So one question I have for you is that we've noticed this. So the lockdown order happened around March 15th, and we had, you see about this many tickets. And since the lockdown, it went up dramatically, up by like 60%. So it's just statistics, but I can imagine that you guys are under some stress to respond to all of these tickets. So if you have suggestions on how to deal with the increase of volume, like just throw them on the chat. Another thing is that we've seen that a lot of you during automate, Forrest is saying, yeah, we can do a next webinar on how to automate tickets if you're interested. Zach has been automating it for I think 15% of the tickets for Steve Madden, so we can definitely like share some learnings there and show you how to automate tickets. That would be great, says Thomas. Nice. Wonderful. But basically the idea is, yeah, like we see that there is a spike like during the Black Friday period. So if you're interested in talking about like ways to handle the spike, that could be a good theme for a next webinar, like automate tickets, help center, all that stuff. Cody saying would love one focused on rule creation and automation. So yeah, we could do that next month. Happy to dig on that, or earlier as well. Cool. All right, Zach, any closing thoughts on your side?
No, thank you guys so much for all your great questions and for taking the time to listen to us and be invested in the product. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, it means a ton to us that you guys are so active on the chat and asking questions. It's really awesome because we're trying to build a product that saves you time and helps you build better relationships with your customers. And so, like when you see that everybody's involved like that, it's super motivating. So, big thanks to all of you. All right, that's it for today. I'm gonna end the webinar, and we'll most likely do another one next month. I think we are doing this right. It seems there was so much engagement that there's no way we cannot do it again. So we'll do another one in May. So we'll send the email to you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Stay safe.